And we have Mark Cuban getting ready for the fourth industrial revolution. He wants that cash on hand. Let's get into the video.
It has not only been up every day since we've seen struggles, that big multi-billion-dollar settlement over at big rival Binance, it's actually been on quite a tear, Kaylee, since it's hit its October lows again. Of course, some of that is helped by that love in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but really it's almost an 80% rise since it retested its lows in October. And if you pull out the chart even more, you would see that it's nearly quadrupled since its December lows that it hit last year. It's too soon to see just how much those troubles over at Binance have meant over at Coinbase, what it's meant in terms of flows and customers moving over, but soon enough, time will tell.
World of sports, literally breaking right now. Billionaire Mark Cuban, obviously well known to the CNBC audience, is selling his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks to the Adelson family. I can confirm that. CNBC can confirm that deal. Now, Cuban paid $285 million for the team in 2020. Guys, that's not a report. We have got this. I'm confirming it right now. CNBC confirms that Mark Cuban selling his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks to Marion Adelson. Now, there's some. Let's just kill the prompter, guys, because I just got off the phone and I'm going to tell you what I just learned. There's some interesting dynamics to this deal, okay? You're going to hear that the valuation is $3.5 billion, which seems low for an asset like the Dallas Mavericks. But here's why this is the most unusual sale, I think, in the history of the modern NBA. Mark Cuban is going to retain control of basketball operations. So that he'll still have a minority stake in the Mavericks, but will have operational control over the team and its operations. What does that mean? Well, according to my sources, what that means is that while Miriam Adelson and the Adelson family will be the majority owners of the Dallas Mavericks, the team, drafts, everything else will be run still by Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban also just announced recently that he is stepping down from Shark Tank after this upcoming season, which will be his 16th. So in a matter of 2 days, Mark Cuban says, you know what? Last season of Shark Tank, I'm going to be selling my majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks, and wonder what's going on. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Mark Cuban will run for president.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the cash out. Now we have Coinbase hitting all-time highs. And as we saw, Cathie Wood selling. Remember, guys, you're selling as it's going up because we know it's going to come back down. And we have Standard Chart that says Bitcoin can hit 100,000 by the end of 2024. And I definitely can see that happen. Now we have billionaire Mark Cuban selling majority stake of his Dallas Mavericks. And that's not a big deal. We know owners buy and sell all the time. But the big deal is who he's selling it to. That's right, to the casino owners. You can't make this stuff up. Remember, guys, it's all entertainment. WWE. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you.
The Biden administration wants to convert empty office buildings into affordable housing units.
Developers are converting offices into apartments at a record rate.
And remember what the World Economic Forum stated? You will own nothing, but you will be happy. Now we have Blackstone head plans to spend billions buying up dorms, warehouses, and data centers across Europe. And I've been over the plan with commercial property being turned over to housing in the United States. And every plan that we see here, we can actually see it globally. They may be doing it a different way, but it's the same agenda, the same way with universal basic income. And the only reason why the housing market hasn't crashed in the United States yet is because the Fed is holding it up. They raise rates up so high, no one wants to move. And if you're buying a house, you're paying $300,000 and $400,000. And that's the reason why the NWO calls the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. They're going to have those affordable homes ready. And we know with the current owners, they're going to be upside down. But remember, that was all part of the plan. And speaking of part of the plan, we have health issues in China. And guys, I can't talk about it. I'll probably do a video Monday. But this time, the health issue is dealing with kids. Now, don't forget the emerging markets are going to be flipping the switch to the fourth industrial revolution next year. And yes, it's going to take about 3 to 5 years to get underway. But the United States is going to start feeling that pain next year. America to Babylon has to be destroyed along with the United States world reserve currency in order for China, the dragon, to rise along with that digital yuan. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Last night I saw a really interesting story that you were covering on Last Call, where you talked about the rise of children's respiratory illnesses. And you had lots of pictures of these hospitals that were jammed, emergency rooms that were jammed.
They're all over the internet. Yeah, there are a lot of videos that have come up showing the pediatric wards in different cities that are being jammed, like you said, with children who are sick, and it's been raising a lot of concerns. So people have been masking a lot more. They've been worried about whether or not this could be a new variant of COVID-19. Is this a new pathogen? But the authorities have said that this is not a new pathogen. The WHO has also taken that line. In fact, it looks as though the WHO has said that it's similar to what we've seen in other countries. Like here, when I was in China, over a year ago, you guys were worried about like RSV and all these other.
The year before, when things started opening up, you had kids who got sick for the first time who hadn't been exposed to so many diseases.
Exactly.
That normally, when there wasn't a lockdown, you would kind of see a rolling effect of these things. Everybody got it at the same time. We ran out of children's Tylenol and the rest of it. But I don't necessarily believe what Chinese authorities say on these things.
Right, and I think that's a big issue for China.
There's an H1N1 case in the UK, a swine flu. But think about how we view these things now. Do you remember how we used to view these things?
No big deal.
SARS. We always worry about them and nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
Well, now we know that each one of these things.
Yeah, and there's a public trust issue in China, especially around these national health issues.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology, and I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust. And we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, oh, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.